The world may still look American on the surface: Hollywood, the dollar, Wall Street, the US military. But underneath that image, something much bigger is changing. For decades, America believed that China needed the United States more than the United States needed China. Cheap factories, low-cost labor, mass manufacturing. China was seen as the world's workshop. But now, that equation is changing. And today, many analysts believe something unimaginable has happened. Donald Trump may need Xi Jinping far more than Xi needs Trump. Not because China is stronger militarily, but because the global economy itself has changed. And if this shift continues, it could reshape the future of power, money, energy, trade, and even your daily life. Because this is no longer just about politics. This is about who controls the economic engine of the modern world. To understand this, we first need to understand how America became the world's dominant superpower. After World War II, the United States controlled global finance, global trade, and global security. The US dollar became the backbone of the world economy. Oil was traded in dollars. International trade moved through American-controlled financial systems. US companies dominated technology and innovation. And most importantly, America controlled the global supply chain. But in the late 1970s, China made a decision that changed history. Instead of remaining isolated under a rigid communist economic model, China opened its economy to the world. Factories exploded across cities like Shenzhen. Foreign companies rushed in. Western corporations outsourced manufacturing to China to reduce costs and increase profits. And slowly, China transformed from a poor agricultural nation into the manufacturing center of the planet. Today, almost everything around you has some connection to China. Your phone, your laptop, your batteries, your solar panels, your electronics, even critical industrial components. China didn't just manufacture products. It quietly built control over supply chains. And that control has now become geopolitical power. For years, the US believed tariffs and sanctions could pressure China into submission. But the world in 2026 is very different from the world of 2006. China is no longer dependent on one single market. It has expanded trade across Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Latin America. Through projects like the Belt and Road Initiative, China built economic influence across dozens of countries. At the same time, America became increasingly dependent on globalized supply chains, and that dependency became dangerous, especially during crises. COVID exposed it first. Factories shut down. Shipping collapsed. Supply chains froze. Suddenly, the world realized how much manufacturing power China controlled. But now another crisis is making the situation even more dangerous. The Iran conflict and the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz may be only around 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, but it is one of the most important economic choke points on Earth. A massive percentage of the world's oil passes through this narrow corridor. If instability grows there, oil prices rise globally. And when oil prices rise, everything becomes more expensive. Transportation, food, electricity, manufacturing, flights, shipping. Inflation spreads across the global economy. And this creates a major political problem for the United States. Because inflation is one of the most dangerous forces in politics. When fuel prices rise, voters become angry. When living costs increase, economic confidence falls. And right now, America is already facing debt pressure, political polarization, and global military commitments across multiple regions. Meanwhile, China is positioning itself differently. Instead of directly confronting the US militarily, Beijing is using economic leverage. China maintains strong energy relationships with countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia. It has become one of the largest buyers of Middle Eastern oil. And this gives China something extremely valuable during global instability: influence. Because when the world needs economic stabilization, countries that control trade, manufacturing, and energy relationships gain negotiating power. This is why analysts believe Trump may need cooperation from Xi Jinping. Not necessarily because China is winning, but because the US economy is increasingly vulnerable to global disruptions. And China knows it. But there's another layer to this story that many people ignore. Rare earth minerals. These are materials used in advanced electronics, electric vehicles, military systems, batteries, semiconductors, and renewable energy technologies. And China dominates much of the global rare earth supply chain. This means the future industries of the 21st century, AI, electric vehicles, green energy, advanced defense systems, all depend heavily on materials linked to Chinese supply networks. So while America still leads in many areas like finance, military alliances, and advanced innovation, China has built something equally powerful: industrial dependence. And industrial dependence creates geopolitical leverage. Now, combine this with the current global situation: wars, energy insecurity, inflation, supply chain instability, debt pressure. Suddenly, the balance of power looks very different. This doesn't mean America is collapsing. Far from it. The United States still remains one of the most powerful nations in human history. Its military reach is unmatched. The dollar remains dominant. American universities, technology firms, and financial systems still shape the world. But the era of uncontested American dominance may be ending. And that is what makes this moment historic. The world is slowly shifting from a unipolar system, where one country dominates, toward a multipolar world, where multiple powers compete for influence. China, America, Russia, Middle Eastern energy powers. And in this new world, economic power may become more important than military power. Because modern wars are no longer fought only with weapons. They are fought through trade, technology, semiconductors, oil routes, shipping corridors, sanctions, supply chains, currencies. The battlefield itself has changed, and perhaps the most dangerous part of all this is uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty. Businesses delay investments. Consumers spend less. Global trade slows down. And when major powers begin depending on each other while simultaneously competing against each other, the global economy becomes fragile. That fragility affects everyone. Even ordinary people thousands of kilometers away from Washington or Beijing. The price of fuel in your city, the cost of food, your electricity bill, job opportunities, inflation. Everything becomes connected to geopolitical competition. And this is why the relationship between Trump and Xi matters far beyond politics. Because behind every summit, every handshake, every tariff, and every diplomatic statement, there is a larger battle taking place. A battle over who will shape the economic future of the world. Will America maintain its dominance? Will China become the new center of global economic power? Or will the future belong to a completely different system where no single country controls everything? The answer is still uncertain. But one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The world order we grew up with is changing. And the next decade may decide who truly controls the future of the global economy.